The following Wicked Turtle Network presentation has strong language and strong content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wicked Turtle Nation, I'm the Killer Watt. I'm here with the Penguin, and we're gonna spit a lot. It's the show that answers what everyone wants to know. We call it What Up Peeps, so hey, here we go.
What up, peeps? It's your boy, the Penguin, and I'm here with that hoe over there, the Killer Thought.
Ooh, hey, Daddy. Welcome back to episode 2 of season 3 of What Up, Peeps.
I love your Wendy Williams impression. Hello. Not to make it awkward, but
Hi.
hi.
And that's how you start a show, baby. Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
High energy. Big dick energy. That's my nickname.
So we had episode 1 of season 3. I thought it was actually a success. That intro was amazing. That outro was just as good. So how was your week there? The thought.
I'm a Let me tell you about my week, Daddy. No, so I had a really good week, but also a really uneventful week. But let me tell you about what I got into this week. Got really into the show Raised by Wolves on Netflix. So Sunday and Monday, I was like binging all they had.
Wait, is that on Netflix or is that on HBO?
My bad. It's streaming services. I get confused.
HBO Max. That's what I thought.
So then I finished it up on Monday, and then I had to wait until Thursday for 2 more episodes, but then I forgot about it and watched it today. But dude, wow, this show is like weird. It's usually kind of the concept that I would hate, but I love it. And they're releasing 2 episodes each week. They're just fun. It's like you get to like a mini binge. And also Lovecraft Country. Love that. And let me tell you. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Lovecraft Country, H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu, one of my favorite mythos. I will tell you, I'm getting a big Cthulhu tattoo right here, by the way. And this has been planned for a while. So Max Landis is like one of my favorite people in the movie business and comics and all that. He puts out on YouTube these videos of him just pitching you an idea for a movie. And so he pitched this idea. It was about 50 minutes long. And I watched it last night. And he pitches this movie called Superman, Agent of Batman. And it's like a young, like new Superman that just like donned the cape. He's done a couple like saving the planet things. And then Batman's like, hey, you know, I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you how to fight because you're just reckless. Like you don't have any training. So, so he's like under the supervision of a 18-year-old Dick Grayson and everything. And Batman sends them over to the Arctic Circle to check out this like thing that's been destroying ships and stuff, which turns out to be Aquaman, but like a fucking Aquaman who's not a bad guy, but he's definitely not a good guy. So Superman goes to figure out what this anomaly is under the earth or under the sea, and he goes down to the bottom of the sea, and he enters this city under the sea that is not Atlantis. It's the home of Cthulhu. So he fucking says this, and I just go, just like imagining this fucking world of Cthulhu and Superman, the two tattoos I'm gonna fucking have. And I'm just like, this is the greatest thing I ever heard. And then he's just like, yep, you heard me right. We've just entered Lovecraft country. And I basically jizzed in my pants as the nerd that I am. But that's basically my week in a nutshell. Fanboy week.
I have yet to see that Lovecraft country.
Well, it's I don't know if you would like it or not. I'd love to see you watch it, because I hear a lot of people say like it's too much, and then other people are like, this is a perfect show. For me, I absolutely love it.
Interesting. You're loving HBO Max. I'll tell you that right now.
I didn't know that I would, man. I'm telling
you right now. We kind of fanboyed over Disney Plus, and then they kind of they were like this for the longest time for us, and then they kind of staled out a little bit. Except for, the Mandalorian's coming back, which is probably making me go back up here.
Right,
again.
for sure, yeah.
They kind of staled out a little bit, and then HBO Max comes out, and it's like, dude, they are just killing it. Like that was probably the best idea of 2020.
There's a lot of hidden gems, man. So many good things on HBO Max, but then also you've got to take into account that as original content, I don't think HBO's ever made a bad original show.
I texted you the other night. I'm like, yo, look, Scooby-Doo, bro.
Oh, dude, like the original series.
Yeah,
shit, man. Dude, all you need is HBO Go to usurp
HBO Max. HBO Max.
Well, same thing. I don't fucking know.
Just remember, HBO. It was the Penguin who's been broadcasting Max. He says Go. He says Netflix.
Well, listen, what I'm saying.
This guy over here.
HBO Max should usurp Boomerang and then just give us everything, like Hanna-Barbera, all that junk.
Yes.
And then I'm like, what else do I need?
Dude, they have cable, Cartoon Network stuff.
Yeah, basic cable, okay? Netflix, Hulu, HBO Go, Disney Plus. Give me 5 streaming services and I need nothing more. And Disney Plus is debatable because maybe only for The Mandalorian and Marvel.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I still like Disney Plus for nostalgia stuff, Yeah, I was watching those 1950 cartoons the other day. Those little shorts that they used to do.
Oh man, I'm not that old, bro.
I'm not that old either, but I still was I grew up watching those cartoons as a kid, So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they got some good stuff on there.
Because back in the day, that's what the Disney Channel used to That's what they used to have. They used to have those old cartoons.
Well, it's still not on there for some reason. The one show that I was into Disney as a kid, and then I stopped in elementary school for a while. And then in junior high, I used to love coming home at 3:00 right after school and hitting the Disney Channel for a couple hours. The famous Jet Jackson, Lizzie McGuire, and some other junk. But famous Jet Jackson's still not on there. I don't know. They
had the Mickey Mouse Club, which was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if the guy who played Jet Jackson got into some trouble or what. If Miley Cyrus's Hannah Montana is still on there, I don't know why that would be on
there. Yeah. My week has been up and down. Let's see. I actually was doing really good until yesterday around 4. I was doing that whole day was fantastic. I was winning that day. I got up, I did an exercise with that Ring Fit, and then I took Bear out for a walk. I posted on Instagram, by the way, One and Only Penguin on Instagram. And then after that, I'm like, what's going on? And now I just get hit with hey, by the way, your insurance, you haven't met your deductible, even though you went to the hospital and you had a $3,000 bill. And I'm like, wait, that's supposed to wait. Yeah, I'm like, yo, come on, say what? Come on, say what? What are you talking about? I'm like, I'm under the impression for the past 2 months that because here's the thing, all my medications were free for the past 2 months, which is great. And I don't know if we have any listeners out there who is diabetic, and if you are, and my pain is real. So, but diabetic medications like insulins are mad expensive. For a whole month's supply for me, it's 500 and some change. That's I pretty much have like a little bit left over just to pay the rest of my life. And that's not even counting if I need to get another month's prescription of another insulin, which is another $300. So that would probably be a whole check. So one insulin, two insulins, one whole check.
Can I ask you a political question?
I'm working for insulin.
So, like free healthcare or like healthcare, open access healthcare, like open prescriptions, like say you pay $5 per prescription, right? Like they do in England. So this is quote unquote socialist concept. Does that bother you?
What do you mean?
The socialist concept, because that's what everybody's argument is.
What's the I don't know. I didn't know.
Exactly.
What are you talking
Right.
about?
Well, okay. So like, basically, socialism is bad in our capitalist economy, which is like a very like Republican concept. They like socialists are basically communists in a sense.
I'm actually for, if you're talking about free healthcare, I am for free healthcare. I think we should have free healthcare.
As well, there should be, because there are a lot of socialist concepts in our economy, like firefighters and policemen and all this shit. So like, why not, if it benefits the people, benefit the people, you know? Like, I don't think there should be any issue for it. People are worried that they're going to have to pay more taxes for it. But wouldn't you rather pay more taxes for the betterment of everyone?
Well, here's the thing. I think it all starts with insurance companies. I think they're the biggest scam in this country alive.
Right, but the
like,
government gave them the power.
I'm paying. Okay, so I pay out of my check. A percentage of my check, I wouldn't say percentage, but a certain amount of dollars go out of my check into pay for insurance, which then I also have to pay onto deductible. So I don't understand, if you're paying out of your pay to the insurance, that should go towards your deductible anyways, just to have it. Like the insurance setup, there's so many monies going into this one thing. But then for like many years, it's like, for instance, like before I got sick and I wasn't diabetic, all right?
Yeah.
Before I got sick and I wasn't diabetic, I was paying for all this stuff. Like I had health insurance, but not using the health. Yeah.
So what they're telling you is like, hey, you know, you owe us $88 a paycheck, right? So like, we're going to take $88 a paycheck from you. And this is to pile up in our accounts in case you ever need it, and then we'll pay out to you. But we won't pay out to you unless you pay a lump sum of $500 deductible, and then we'll give you money to the money that you've been storing with us. And excess on to that, if we need to, pay an excess, which eventually, because you're going to pay insurance for the rest of your life, you will eventually pay back.
It's a flawed system. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't mind paying for healthcare if we had a lower cost in medications.
Yeah.
Like if, like for instance, insulins or capped at like $100, I'm cool with that. You know, if we had, we need medication caps on all our medicines. That's what one thing I think. I think we need medication caps on everything. Like when it comes to prescription, we need a united front on this of all prescriptions are capped at a certain dollar, and then that's it.
You shouldn't have to go broke or go without certain things in order to do what you need to do to stay alive. It's fucked up. And here's my biggest gripe, and I tell everybody this. This is why I dislike our country. Not our country, not the people, not the soldiers, but the government is no longer the United States of America. It is the United Corporation of America, and that is not our country. It is something completely different. And there's a difference between being a patriot, which I consider myself, and being a blind supporter of something that represents something other than what it actually is.
Like luckily I was able to fix my problem this week. Today, I actually went to a pharmacy today. It was actually, what's funny is it was in the hospital. That's the pharmacy, and they were able to work with me, and they said, yeah, we'll break a box for you. That's easy. He said, we'll break a box for you, and then if you don't use that box, we'll give it to one of our patients that will use it. We do that all the time.
You're getting paid for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that. Like it was It was one of those type of moments like, oh yes, like I walked
What's fun
outside and I was like this.
is
I
if
was
they
like,
do if they
yes.
do end up giving that to the patient, they end up charging the insurance company more money than what you're paying for even that broken piece or a full box.
Here's the thing. I'm okay with that. Do you know why?
Oh no,
Because
no, it's
I hate the
fine.
insurance
But
company.
how twisted is that?
Well, here's the thing. The Fortune 500 pharmacies, the Fortune 500 company pharmacies, like
Mhm.
CVS, Rite Aid, Walmart, will not break a box at all. They want you to spend that whole money. Here,
Right.
this is a private place. Like it's on hospital grounds. It actually has the hospital name on it. And they said that they'll do it. And I was like, wow, finally. Because Kmart, I worked with Kmart. Kmart worked with me. It was great.
Mhm.
It was great. They seen my struggles, and there was times when I said to them, like, "Hey, listen, man, I can't afford this, so I'm not gonna take it. I'm just not gonna take it. If I have to
So
choose between putting food on my table or taking medication, I will make sure that my wife and son have food in their mouths, or the lights on, or the bills to be paid before
yeah.
I'll jeopardize my health."
So the
And
job of a
so,
pharmacist is to take the medicine and distribute it per prescription, right? So like any other pill, if it comes in a box of like say 6, but you only need 2, wouldn't it behoove them to sell you the 2 to make the money they can make now rather than the money to turn you away and say like, hey, if you can't buy 6, we don't sell it to you at all, rather than be like, oh, but if you can't afford 2, we'll sell you 2, because that is money now. It's stupid.
I also think it's also a setup too. I think the medical world is more of a setup too to push along the right people that they want to stay alive. Like if you can't afford this medication, you're in this type of class. We'd rather have this higher class be pushed along because they can afford this medication to keep them alive longer.
Oh,
So
for
let's
sure.
keep this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're getting a little political here, but still, it's like this is
Well,
one of my biggest problems. Every year, I come in the same problem. I mean, you guys can go back in all my posts and stuff when I post. I mean, I post a lot about this. This is probably one of the biggest things. And like I said, even before we went on air tonight, I was like, listen, if a candidate wanted to get my vote, dude, do something where you can reform and get and fix this type of problem. This is something we shouldn't have a problem with because other countries do it a lot better than us, way better. You can go to Mexico, which kind of sucks down there, but you can go to Mexico and they have great drugs that
yeah.
you can get down there.
Have
You
you
can
ever
go
been
to,
to Mexico?
you said Europe. I remember you. One of my favorite stories is like you talking about Europe and the inhaler you had to get in Europe.
Let me explain something to you. You said that it sucks down in Mexico, but you've never probably been there, right? So this is where I want to get into my next topic, which is the world of 2020 and conspiracy theories. So when I talked about Europe and the way that they do their treatment of people there, one of the biggest things is France. France has this incredible system of taking care of its people and their health. And what do you think of when you think France without knowing that? Right, like not a good thing, right? You probably think of arrogant French people,
No,
or like French fries, or like ho 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 ho, city American.
no. You know what I think of?
What's
Cooking,
that?
food.
Okay, well, but like in reality, though, like the general American consensus about France is that they're like hoity-toity and like douchey jerks, and this is a lot to do with they have a good thing going over there, and America wants to paint a bad picture of them to the people so that you don't realize that they have it better than you. They're treated better than we treat you here. And that might be the case. I mean, I don't know why people would come here from Mexico if it was that good there, so maybe you're wrong.
Yeah,
But the access to medication there is phenomenal.
yeah, it's phenomenal.
Cuba, Colombia, like the
You were telling me,
medicine
yo,
there
tell your
is
story
amazing.
about Europe. You were telling me about Europe, how had to get an inhaler. Here, that inhaler will probably cost you what, 200, $300?
$5. $5 per prescription.
$5.
Flat, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
$5 per prescription.
That's amazing. See, these other countries, they treat you like kings, dude. They
Yeah.
treat you like kings. It's like they're sending you a message.
Right. Well, I mean, you fucking prick. Before I get there, I like that. But before we get there, I did want to ask you a question about conspiracies because of the world of 2020. Do you believe there's a cure for diabetes and that we just don't have it because they make money by treating it?
It's probably out there. It's probably out there, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a cure for everything out there, to be honest.
I honestly do too.
Even coronavirus. Ooh, bum, bum, bum.
I fully agree. I think any ailment that's out there, I think there's actually already a cure. Maybe not Lou Gehrig's disease. Baseball. Anyway, baseball.
Message from a king, yeah.
All right.
I already set you up.
So let's talk about a message from a king.
Yeah, so if you guys don't understand it from the title, this episode is actually dedicated to Chadwick Boseman. So we watched two Chadwick Boseman movies. The first one I wanted to watch this one from Netflix because I have yet to see it, and I know Kilowatt said it was on your radar, and you haven't watched it either.
It was on my radar, but I the reason I didn't watch it because it only came on my radar after he had passed.
I didn't even know it.
Yeah, it just was like. It wasn't something that I was ready to watch until I was forced. And I kind of want to go back a little. I was searching for a clip earlier that we found out was deleted. But I remember our first podcast, we had talked about who do we think could play the next Blade. And I was just like, Chadwick Boseman. And I don't even know if you knew who he was at this point. But I remember saying, like, there's this fucking fantastic movie. This movie 42, which we're actually going to review right after this one. And I remember saying, like, I would recast him in remaking Robin Williams movies. I don't care. I think he's a fantastic young actor and one of my favorite actors. So, like, his passing is just like, it's weird that somebody you've never met can have such an emotional, like, you can have a really emotional tie to. Like, I'm like, in a sense, kind of devastated by it.
Yeah, I think that's we both called each other and we both were shocked. Like I was shocked. I was like, "What? I didn't even know he was sick." Kudos for him for keeping that from anybody. You know,
that's
like
a testament to his strength, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I mean, I think I fell in love with him more as Black Panther, like the whole world did. It was phenomenal. It was like the most perfect. Sometimes there's these roles that are just picked out that's perfect for you. Like Christopher Reeve, for instance, he was perfect to play Superman.
Perfect Superman. I think the best thing about Christopher Reeves and Christopher Reeves as Superman is they call Christopher Reeves the guy that made you believe a man could fly, because he was like, even though he's in a wheelchair, he was like Superman in real life. Like, he embodied that spirit and that personality. And so did Chadwick of T'Challa. Like, this dude was T'Challa in real life. Like, he was a role model and an inspiration. He is literally the candle that I hold any celebrity or athlete to. Just, you need to be a role model and an upstanding citizen. And
he's just a phenomenal actor too. Like we talked about in the past about actors who who are from England and stuff like that play American characters and sound like perfect. Like Andrew Lincoln, for instance, plays a great Southern dude. He does his great Southern accent.
Hugh Laurie playing Dr. House. I remember the first time I saw him do an interview, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, this is the same thing that shocked me with Chadwick. Because I've never saw 42 before, which is weird. But we'll get into that later.
So what was weird was hearing him with the African accent, right? Because he typically he speaks.
Also, who names their son Chadwick? I'm like, what?
Cool name, man.
It is.
At least Chadwick Boseman is easier to say than Tanning Chatham or Chatham Tanning. I can't get it right. I love the guy, but I can't get it right.
I just call him hot.
That's Magic Mike, baby. But dude, huge bag of wind here, man. But yeah, let's get into the movie. And
so what did you think of Message from a King?
Okay, well, I don't think that Chadwick has ever not fulfilled his duties as an actor.
Yes.
So he killed it. He killed the role. As far as the tone and the beat of the movie, I didn't love the pacing and some of the directorial choices. It made me feel like an indie film art house director took on a medium budget Hollywood thriller, and just didn't have the chops to kill it.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, because you get these action thrillers and there's always a beat of every 10 pages of dialogue is a huge action scene of some sort. And I don't feel like that was here. There were a lot of lulls and like silent moments that made me just kind of be like zoned out. And I reached for my phone and then I'd be like, no, put it down. You've got to struggle through this boring moment just for Chadwick. It's for Chadwick. So, no, some of the cool shit in this movie, though, the action sequences that they did have were badass. And just confirm for me, that was a bike chain, correct?
Yes.
Didn't know you could use that as a weapon.
Me neither. I thought that was very cool.
But you can use a bike chain as a weapon. GTA, I'm looking at you for your next installment. Holy shit. So I thought that was really cool. Another thing that kind of got brought to light in this, and if we're going to stay on the political side, little twist and turn at the end of the movie with the bad guy being into pedophilia. Overall, okay movie. Great acting. Okay movie.
I mean, for my review in this, I'm pretty piggybacking off of you. I had the same emotions. I had such a hard time watching this movie. It was a tough watch. It was, I mean, we use that a lot on this show. It was just a tough watch to watch this movie, just because not Chadwick Boseman, like you said. I agree with you. I think Chadwick Boseman was great in this film. I feel like you said, you know, it's the story of it just like went here and then here and then here, and it just kept going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, to the point where
it's hard to follow.
Where I'm doing this like with you, I'm like, okay.
Here, can I ask you a question? Did you think in the beginning of the movie when he was being interrogated by the police or whatever, did you think that took place at the end of the movie and that we were going to be recalled to that?
No.
Okay, so I did. It felt like one of those scenes that start out a movie and then it kind of ends and then we go to the movie and then you end up back in that interrogation room at the end of the movie.
It was such a hard watch. Like, this was such a hard watch. And it was kind of hard to follow along. Like, you know,
I agree with that.
That was one of my biggest problems with this. It wasn't Chadwick Boseman. I thought Chadwick Boseman did great in this movie, to be honest, as doing his character and the voice and all that stuff. I thought it was T'Challa there for a second. I'm like, oh my God, did T'Challa come into this movie? Like, he had the same accents. I don't know when this movie was filmed. I think it was, 2017?
2016, yeah.
So that was right after. That was almost right after?
Yeah, it was released in 2016, so it was probably filmed even before that.
When was Black Panther came out?
It was after that. I think that Black Panther was 2017.
Oh, so he had practice. Yeah, maybe you have to do it. Maybe you have to do a crap movie to get to greatness. You know.
Well, I think he probably did Winter Soldier or no, Civil War.
Civil War.
I think that happened before.
That was before. Yeah, that was before Black Panther.
So he had it down.
But like I said, I agree with almost all the points that you just said. It was up and down, up and down, up and down for me. It was a hard watch. Yeah. Like you said, it was okay.
Yeah, for some of the dramatic reveals of things that happened, I felt like you kind of said some things didn't make sense. It felt like they really forced themselves to not reveal things until it felt dramatically necessary, because who would have thought until the end of the freaking movie they were like, oh, she sold the boy to him for sex because whatever. There no point in the movie prior to that would you have guessed that was a thing.
Also, like, kudos for Chadwick Boseman to do this. This is very a gruesome movie. It was a little.
It was dark.
It was super dark. Like,
It was dark.
like the face all mangled and messed up. That was kind of gross. And then, like you said, the boy, like it was.
I feel like on paper, Chadwick was probably like, "This seems like a good movie."
He's like, I need to do something that's not Marvel.
Well, yeah, that and like, you know, there were some really cool dramatic twists and reveals. The twist at the end, in the beginning of the interrogation, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I back in Africa, I'm a taxi driver." When he goes back to Africa at the end, he's beaten by a bunch of police, and they call him detective. You're like, "Oh shit! No wonder he was so good at tracking shit down. He is a detective."
I think he said the taxi driver because whatever he was, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what he was there.
Right, but he also didn't want to like lead on that he was, because if he was there to work, he wouldn't be. He'd have to be deported back because he doesn't have a work visa.
Yeah.
It's so much bullshit. But
So
like,
what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because, like I said, it's an okay movie. I don't think I'd watch it again for any real reason, but it's not a bad movie. Like, the action was there, the acting was there.
When the action was there, it was good. That's the thing. When the
That's
action
true.
was there. The problem is there wasn't enough of it. That was the biggest problem.
Yeah,
It was action for a little bit and then down.
I felt
Action
like
for a little bit and then down.
I felt like it was a really bad episode of Law and Order SVU. It was like, this is the bad guy that leads you to the bad guy that leads you to the bad guy that leads you back to the first bad guy that leads you to the bad guy who actually did it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think for myself, I'm gonna. What'd you say? 7.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Oh, man, it's hard to give it that. I hate to do it because Chadwick Boseman was great. If I had to go by points of action was good, Chadwick Boseman was good. I you know what? I'm there. You're right. Okay, I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5
Yeah.
because
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
yeah. It's not the worst movie. It's not the worst movie, you know. But hey, so let's talk about 42.
You mean the answer to the ultimate question of the universe and everything?
You're saying Jackie Robinson is
No, but
the enlightened being.
so yeah, like the 42, the reference of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy there. That's why my email, AlexWatt42, pretty much everything is 42.
Start spamming, everybody. Start spamming.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, listen, 42 is an integral thing in my life and a major role model for me, and something a lot of people don't know about me. And, you know, political hot button, Black Lives Matter. But for me personally, most of my role models in my life and personal heroes have been Black males. So Jackie Robinson is one of the first inspirational Black males that I was ever exposed to via, I believe it was called The Jackie Robinson Story, which is like a made-for-TV movie. But this movie was my introduction to Chadwick Boseman, who obviously, 42, Jackie Robinson, the Brooklyn Dodgers. This movie, like, was just so perfect in my opinion. Like, maybe I'm giving it too much of a good rating, but when I am compelled to feel during a movie and I'm also learning something and possibly being motivated to change my opinions on the world and people in it, like, I can't not give you a better review. Like, that's what you dream of when you go into making a film, like, to actually change the world through entertainment. Chadwick, fucking amazing. Like I said, my first exposure, this is the movie that made me possibly recommend him for anybody to watch as an actor. So I will give it over to you because all I'm going to do is say how great this movie is.
Well, I'm probably going to piggyback at that off of that too. So, but I win this because I love baseball. I love baseball a lot. Yeah. I kind of knew the story already because being a baseball fan. I do watch sports, unlike the Kilowatt, but I do watch sports. What?
You know what? I will say that I'm okay with sports, but I can't watch it like religiously. But you give me a good sports movie, oh, I'm in it. I love it.
Mhm.
Like I don't think there's ever been a sports movie I hated except for maybe Draft Day, because it's like play football.
Draft Day was good. What are you talking
I'm not
about?
saying it wasn't good, but like I want to watch football if I'm watching.
I have rewatched that movie multiple times. No, but I walked into this 'cause I knew the Jackie Robinson story. I knew about the breaking the barriers and stuff like that, and he really did. It was amazing what he did for the sport of baseball, and also what he did for, if you want to say Black Lives Matter, then there you go. You know, that's one of those hot button things that, dude. And you
Oh,
see
you got to think this is before like Martin Luther King. You know, this is before Malcolm X. This is before being the movement was a thing.
Jackie Robinson was a pioneer.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I actually learned from this movie, Harrison Ford's character was part of that being a pioneer.
Right. So what do you think about
If it
his-
wasn't for him making that decision, there would be no I wouldn't say there would be no black people in baseball, but there wouldn't be no jumpstart with Jackie Robinson.
there would be possibly no civil rights movement at all had it not been for Jackie Robinson.
Let's go back to actually the sport baseball, and they call this America's pastime because that's exactly what it was. The NFL was, I don't know if the NFL was around football, but baseball was always a thing. That was always a thing, and that was always America's sport. You know what I'm saying? That was one that we always got behind. And you could see that in this movie. You could see that in this movie. Like there was so much passion. Like, hey, you're not allowed to be here. This is our sport. And these are white people telling black people, telling Jackie Robinson no. And like, it was sad to see that. And some of the stuff that like what I love about this movie, watching this right now, because this movie was when was this released?
2013.
2013.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, because some of the stuff that's here now has come full circle now with us with this movie to now. Like there's a lot of stuff like put yourself in his shoes, you know? Like that one scene where it's against the Phillies manager who's just like, I almost turned it off there or fast forwarded because it was so
hard
disgusting.
to watch. Yeah.
It was disgusting.
What I would love to do though, if we could ever interview Alan Tudyk, aka Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball, I would love to ask how weird does it feel to act in a scene that is so against like who you actually are? Like, how does it feel to stand on a field and scream that word at somebody?
I mean, they're all working. They're probably all professional.
Well, no, I get that, but like, you know, as an actor, you have to put yourself in that space to make it look authentic. And that's
he has to understand, like that guy, the Steve the Pirate's playing a kind of an iconic character right there. You know what I'm saying? That guy, after he did all that stuff, he got fired and never worked in baseball again. Yeah,
absolutely. And then, you know, you would think that being that time period, he would be revered for those negative views. But thankfully he was not.
And then tried to cover it up with a stupid photo op, basically. I love the part in here, and I love the part where Chadwick Boseman looks at him and says, "Here, let's use the bat so our skin don't have to touch."
Yeah, that was cool.
Then
that's another thing that I like. Here is Chadwick Boseman playing, who is a role model himself, playing another role model. Like, he literally was not Chadwick in this movie, and I can tell you that the proof is in this. We watched multiple Chadwick Boseman movies, and for some reason, Rhonda didn't realize this was Chadwick Boseman until halfway through the movie. She's like, "Wait a minute, is this Chadwick too?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, I didn't even notice." Like, but because he's so not the same in every single role, like he actually becomes the person. So like, more to his fame and legacy is that he brought other famous legacies to life. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's this. The Jackie Robinson story is very inspirational. I'm telling you, dude. Like, I like the story of this because it hits close to home to me because I like sports a lot. and I like to see a feel-good story. But watching this movie was a little bit more like the behind the scenes and more learning, like you said before. Like, he had to bite his lip multiple times, like throughout his whole career, getting tossed baseballs at his head, death threats to his kid, his wife, N bombs dropped left and right, not by one person, but thousands of people. Like, I mean, for him to have that type of fortitude that he has there, I thought that was just absolutely awesome. I thought that was just like the most courageous thing that you could see. And I'm like, I didn't really know that he had to like suck that up so much.
I really like that.
Because he wanted to kick everyone's ass. I'll tell you that right now. He wanted to kick everyone's ass.
Yeah, the point you're bringing up right now is actually so cool because Harrison Ford gives like a whole speech in there about like I don't want a player who's going to react and fight. I want somebody with the courage enough not to. Yeah. And it's like, shit, no, that actually is courage. Like, and
what's funny is that wasn't his criteria before he got called up. When he was down in the Negro leagues, that wasn't his criteria. He was actually the bad boy. That's where he got kicked out. Was it the Army? I think it was.
Yeah, he got dishonorable discharge. Yeah,
because he was the bad boy. He was the one that couldn't hold his tongue. He was the one that fought. I mean, you even saw it even in the beginning of the movie when he went to use the toilet. Yeah, and he's like, "Well, we'll take our 99 gallons elsewhere."
Right. That was actually a testament to like his brilliance. But like when the movie progresses and you see him biting his tongue, it's a testament to, in these tough times and in the face of ignorance, to show dignity, dignity, respect, and just ultimately being above the bullshit is ultimately the right way to go. And this is why, and like, I know you probably hate when I get political, but you know, like again, with the current like Black Lives Matter movement, you have the few people who are rioters and jerk offs and making a bad name for people, but the majority of the people are dignified and doing things the right way. And this is because of role models like him and not violent people like Martin Luther King as well. So kudos to this movie. Kudos to everything it stands for.
I think also he held his tongue too more because he knew this was bigger than him. Yeah. Him being up in the Major League Baseball, he knew that was way bigger than just him, that he's starting something for other people of color. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why he did hold his tongue. He could have went and destroyed it. And here's the thing. If he would have went and argued with that Phillies manager, if he would have went and threw something at a fan, it would have ruined it as a fan, and black people wouldn't have been allowed in baseball.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, it's the butterfly effect, because had he gone to that manager and started a fight or something, whole civil rights movement may never have even happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's your rating? Even though I kind of already know.
Yeah, no, my rating is pretty ridiculous, but I also want to bring up Christopher Maloney, Elliot Stabler, his speech before he got shit canned was or suspended, when he's telling all like the racist guys who are doing the petition, he's like,
revolt against the
he's like, listen, you can sign a petition, but they're just gonna have more black people come in here who are more talented than you and more dedicated to actually wanting to play the game,
because they have a point to prove. That's why.
Right. And then like, now you're not gonna have a job, so you know, either you focus on what you do or you focus on being an asshole.
Always be careful for that underdog, because that underdog will always take you over.
And my last shout out before I give you my rating, how cool was John C. McGinley for a movie again, huh? Dr. Cox? Dr. Cox in a movie? I was pretty excited to see Dr. Cox.
I always love his smile. His smile's like...
It's like he's always just got a facelift.
But you want to know something though? And I was going to bring this up about him. I was thinking of Wild Hogs. Let's get involved. But what I loved about actually his character is this, man. He had the announcer role on point.
Yes. Yeah,
we used the word fleek in this show. Like, he was on fleek hard. Like, he was like, and then running third, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty good. Like, that sounds like them old school.
It didn't seem like he was
sportscasters, bro.
It seemed authentic. It didn't seem like, oh, this guy's imitating a sportscaster.
And then Jackie's running second, going to third. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
was like,
cool.
wow, that sounds really cool. Like, and because he doesn't sound like that. He doesn't sound
No,
like that at
no.
all. That's what makes him a good actor. People, and that's why I keep saying, like, I thought Chadwick Boseman was from African descent like that, because the way he could change his voice like that, and like that what turns you into a great actor, because you're turning into this character. Well, like, you don't talk like that. Like, Jackie's running second, going to third. Like, nobody talks like that anymore, you know?
You know
And
who
like,
else? Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
You know who else is like a phenomenal actor when it comes to being able to change their dialect and learn languages for movies? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, really?
Blood Diamond, if you ever watch that. I mean, he's got like this whole like South African accent going on. He's literally learned languages for movies. It's insane.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind doing a review session on some major DiCaprio movies, like maybe Gilbert Grape, Inception, The Departed, and maybe Blood Diamond.
Gilbert Grape was great.
Phenomenal.
Gilbert Grape was great.
I can't, I was just about to do an impression, and it's like so politically incorrect right now.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't want to get canceled. But anyways, what's your rating for this?
Again, I say when I learn from a movie, when I am moved, when my personality has the ability to evolve from a movie that not only do I enjoy, but I fucking like learn from, and I'll hold that with me forever. Outstanding acting, great cast. I can't not give this a perfect score for me. I know that's probably wrong, but in my opinion, that's what makes a great movie, and this is the candle that I hold all great movies to. This is a 10.
I value our opinions hardcore. I feel like there is that sweet special moment in time that we give perfect tens, and I'm actually going to agree with you on this on giving this a perfect 10, just because it hits all my points. Like, first off, I didn't grab this once except to text you and say, hey, look, I'm almost through this. Or to take a break to go to the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah.
But baseball, I love baseball, dude. I'm a huge baseball fan. I wouldn't say the biggest. I mean, I'm more football than I'm baseball, but still, America's pastime. The civil rights movement of jumpstarting the civil rights movement. The character himself, Jackie Robinson. Just all the actors. The script was good. The just everything was just great about this movie. Everything was perfect, and it hits all those notes. And if you guys are struggling in this time of with the Black Lives Matter movement, this is actually a really good feel good movie, even though it's like has a lot of grim points of Black Lives Matter type movement we got going on, but it has a good feeling at the end. There's a happy outcome at the end of this.
I think to that point, it's great to see something that took place literally 73 years ago, and to be able to take that and parallel it with the shit you see going on today, and see that how no matter how much we've come, that we're still kind of in the same boat, and maybe it can be an inspiration for you to help change the world. Who knows?
Yeah, I also put it like this too. If you want to like put real world stuff in, like what we're doing now compared to then, I mean, like I said, he had every chance that he could have revolted against the machine, and every time he ignored it and just knew that this is bigger than just him. You know what I'm saying? And it goes the same thing with what's on today. Revolting against the machine, you could sit there and protest correctly, and this is bigger than just you.
Right. So, you send the message the right way with dignity and the idea of never giving up until change happens, or you burn down a city, which at first, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of supported the idea of sending that message without hurting people. So those few people who do those things totally corrupt the message, and it's harder for people to receive it. So you're not these assholes technically who are selfish. They ruin the message for everybody else, and the ability to change as a nation.
Yeah, I think this is actually a very good learning movie, to be honest. This is actually a very good movie to watch, and I think it's something we can sit back and think about, like, like comparisons between now and then. I think that's actually not a bad idea, and actually take example from then to now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, homework. Moving on, homework for next time. I'll let you. You're the one that's picked into homework, so tell the group and the fans, what are we doing for homework next time?
Okay, so moving right along with some great filmmakers of color, uh, people that created the movie Get Out, which was freaking awesome, and the movie Us, which was kind of creepy. We have a new movie, which Rotten Tomatoes and other critics are kind of giving it some shit, but the movie itself is hyped up to be pretty dope. So, Antebellum, it literally just came out today. So check that out.
As soon as you say Rotten Tomatoes, I automatically want to watch it because I just hate them as critics. I think they're terrible.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see, because it's definitely a weird concept for a movie. I'm very interested in it. But we'll talk more about that next week. But what is the other movie that I picked out? I can forget.
Someone with Tom Holland.
Yes, The Devil All the Time. Ryan Pattinson and
The Devil.
Tom Holland.
The Devil, the All the Time. Wait, the Devil.
The Devil All the Time.
All the time.
I don't know what that means even.
The Devil All the Time. Yep.
But this is another movie that I think takes place back in like the 1950s or something. Very excited to see it. Some great actors, and
It's got Batman and Spider-Man in
it. Literally, Batman and Spider-Man are the parallels on each. These are the two most rebooted movies of each brand. So
I can't wait. These are going to be good movies to watch. It's going to spearhead us into. Let's see. Let me check my calendar real quick. It's going to spearhead us into October, which me and the Kilowatt discussed this. What was it, last night or night before last? I think we're going to do reviews of it. It's October, so we got to do scary movies.
Why don't we do this each week? We go with a classic horror movie to review and a newer horror movie to review.
I can't do that. That's the only problem. Classic is great. I love classics with the slashers and the stuff like that, but then when you go to newer ones, it's just gross.
No.
There's a lot of gross.
Gore is a subgenre, not every new.
So you're saying like one show will do like classic It compared to new It.
No, I mean
classic It to new It.
But I'm saying we could do like the Amityville Horror 1978, or we could do, and then we could do The Conjuring. You know what I mean? So like we like similar but different, both involving the Warrens.
Well, we decided we were going to review scary movies up to our Halloween special. We do a Halloween special almost every year. This show actually took over our studio chat. So we usually do a special edition Penguin in the Watt Halloween themed show, which is going to be fun. So I can't wait. So we'll probably do that leading up to that show, which will be great. You'll see it will probably, we changed the name and everything. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different setup. We have a whole intro in and all that stuff. It's just fun. Just a lot of fun. We do this and for Christmas. You're knocking off the Penguin and the Kilowatt's favorite stuff.
So at the end, I don't know if we're getting ready for shout outs, but so at the end of freaking Halloween, you're going to get your special studio chat Halloween episode, which is going to be pretty cool.
It's not really called studio chat. It's actually it's a Penguin in the Watt joint.
It is. So we have that, and then also right before Halloween on October 29th, you're going to get to check out Camp Leapfrog 2, Things That Go Bump in the Rain.
Oh, you're going into promotions already. Look at you. Good. Go ahead. Hold on.
Are you ready? All right.
It would be funny if you had a piece of chalk.
I know. I'm gonna get like talcum powder and like spray it on my face next week. Fucking like.
No, you can't. Then you'll be canceled for having white face.
I already have white face. I mean, I guess it's kind of brown face, but I just don't watch it. I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
go.
ready?
Go.
So, at the end of the month, you're going to get to check out Studio Chat, a.k.a. Penguin, in the Watch Join Halloween special. And also, Can't Believe Frog, Things That Go Bump in the Ring. Can't Believe Frog 2, October 29th. Check it out. That is a independent wrestling IWTV joint and co-promoted with High Tension HTW. That's High Tension Wrestling at High Tension HTW on all social media. Me? You're asking me where you can find me on all social media? That's right. It's at Real Kilowatt on all social media. Every single place on social media except for Pornhub, you can find me on Pornhub. It's The Killa Thought. That's right. I'm that hoe over there on Pornhub. But just kidding. Don't check. If you do, you might find a milkshake or two. I'm going to send it over to you, Daddy.
Love that classic video you posted on social media this week, too.
That's right. Fatso Bust a Move.
Which was immediately muted.
Fucking pissed. So I ended up having to put it on my story so it wasn't muted.
Yeah, because you had to add.
I had to add the song to it so that it was like.
I did the same thing because after you did that, I'm like, oh, I know why I was muted because Facebook sucks.
Well, yeah, Facebook muted it partially. Instagram made me delete it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, fuck them.
I did the same thing today. Lately I've been actually going through, when it comes to my music, I've been listening to a lot of older tunes like Frank Sinatra, dude. I've just been mad chill with Frank Sinatra.
Fly me to the moon.
Mm-hmm. That's why the lady is a tramp.
New York.
I'll tell you. But anyways, Wicked Turtle. Let's talk some Wicked Turtle stuff. I'm excited for Wicked Turtle stuff. You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Wicked Turtle store. Because like we got shirts like this. We got merch like this. And a brand new shirt that just dropped the other day. It's yo, you got reviews? You got reviews? Then you got Penguin Eats.
Ooh, tell me about it, Steph.
Now you too can review with an official Penguin Eats shirt.
Nice.
So Penguin finally has some merch. That's great.
Can I suggest an episode of Penguin Eats?
What?
Penguin Eats WAP.
Wings and pizza? I'm down.
That's right, baby.
Coming soon. WAP.
Penguin Eats that.
I got some rolls in my mouth. Got some rolls in my mouth. Got some rolls in my mouth. Got
that
some rolls
wet ass
in my
pizza. Wet ass pizza. Wings and pizza.
I was just saying, I'll have to talk to you about this off camera. But anyways, let's keep going. Yeah, there's that shirt. Guess what? Sunday, code drop in. Type in the word eats for 10% off. There you go.
Yeah, new t-shirt idea.
What?
WAT. Wicked ass turtle.
We just do it all in emojis.
Wicked peach turtle.
Yep.
It's a witch, a peach, and a turtle.
But as far as social media, now, beginning the show, I said that the Kilowatt made this awesome intro, which, by the way, I'm dancing and I'm doing the Carlton, which was funny as hell. Funny as hell. But at the end of the video was a special snap code that where you guys just pause the video, snap the code, and all our social media comes up.
And you don't even have to pause the video.
Really? Oh, well.
It's long. It's like 30 seconds. You have plenty of time.
Well, if that doesn't work, because here's the thing, guys. I tried it
Yeah,
myself.
if scanning's not your bag, baby.
Shut up, thought. But I actually tried it. I couldn't actually get it to scan. I don't know.
Personal problem.
It might have been me. But anyways, we do put the link now. It's going to be in the status updates or in the description. So you guys can check it out there.
Right.
You guys, all you got to do is click the link and it'll take you to all, it's our link tree. So it'll take you to all our social media stuff, including the store, which is there too.
And you're probably watching this on a Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
So you're watching this on Monday. So hopefully Saturday, 2 days ago, you watched the brand new Breakfast Club.
I didn't even know about this.
That's right. We're freaking we're back. And me and the situation from the Jersey Shore, just kidding, he's not there. But we both love funfetti. And so I found a funfetti cereal, and we're going to check that shit out.
I'm excited. I love this series. That's one of my favorite series because, look at me, I love food. Speaking of loving food, Penguin Eats. We'll talk about that. Get the shirt, but also get the shirt to the show. That is awesome. Do you know why that's awesome? Because we go out in the community. We highlight businesses. We also try the newest things, like the spicy McNugs. Tried those out. Tried the hot sauce.
McNuggets, y'all. Spicy
Burned my
McNuggets,
face
yeah.
off with the hot sauce because that hot sauce was super hot. And then we also went to newest video that's up right now is Philadelphia Hoagie Company and Uncle Paul's Stuffed Pretzels. They were awesome. They're awesome. So if you guys are local in the area of Lebanon or Lancaster, I think they also might do Harrisburg too. But Philly Hoagie Company, delicious, delicious cheesesteak. Probably one of the best you'll ever eat. Even better than some in Philly. That's crazy. Uncle Paul's Stuffed Pretzels are the shit too. They're really, really good. So there's that review. If you guys are interested and don't know what the hell I'm talking about, check out the video. It's on the Wicked Turtle Network, which you can find
Wicked Turtle
Facebook.
Network.
You can find that on Facebook by searching Wicked Turtle Network.
Wicked Turtle Network.
You can also find that on Instagram.
Where at?
Wicked _ Turtle _ Network.
Wicked Turtle
Boom.
Network.
By the way, I'm looking so swole in this shirt right now. Speaking of swole,
Check out our Twitter at Wicked Turtle Net.
speaking of swole, you can check out the show. Trust me, guys, I do everything. So it's Fat Fitness.
Right. He
I do
eats.
Fat
He
Fitness.
sleeps. He fucking works out on the Nintendo Switchies. He does it all.
Listen, don't down it until you try it. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, try the if you have a Switch, definitely go out and get that. It's the Ring Fit. That thing is awesome. It really is. It kicks my ass every time I do it. Every time I do it, I'm sweating up a storm, and it kicks my ass. It basically teaches you yoga. It teaches you yoga. That's basically what it is. But it has some strength stuff because that ring is like a resistant band almost. So, but no, check us out on all social medias. Check out that link tree. Snap the code here at the end. And, listen, this has been a good show, I thought. This is a Chadwick Boseman show. So, all right, man.
He forever rest in peace.
Yeah, man. And Wakanda Forever. This is your boy, the Penguin.
I'm the Killathot.
And that's what's
We're
up.
out.
Blah, blam.
Scan this QR code right now to link up with our link tree. That's a place where you can check out all of our content and social media pages. You can literally like, share, and subscribe to all things Wicked. And hey, if scanning's not your bag, baby, we have a link to our link tree in the description of this video.